Yourself?
Hi there. I've been working in enterprise Java for the past 6 years, and I've been working upon different languages like Scala and Groovy, which also runs on JVM. And right now my interests are on cloud, since there are so many ratings here in Delhi. So I'm working on Google App Engine, and specifically we are porting an application, which is a Wicket application in Java. On Google App Engine.
Perfect. And can you tell us the company for which you are working for? Something about that?
Yes, I am working as a senior consultant in Infina Technologies, and Infina as a company, we work in enterprise Java primarily, and we work in cloud development. And most of the focus is kept on the software craftsmanship, and the code quality is one of the prime concern in Infina Technologies, and that is where most of the focus has been put. Infina's cloud initiative is on Google App Engine and Amazon and Salesforce. And recently we are porting a time feed application on Google App Engine, and we will share our experiences in this.
That sounds great. Could you tell us a bit about Google App Engine as to what it is and what are the capabilities?
Yeah, Google App Engine is a platform. You must be hearing about platform as a service. So it provides a platform where you can host and run your applications, web applications on Google's infrastructure. Google App Engine has support for Java and Python runtime. So not only the languages like Java and Python run on Google App Engine, but also the languages which run on JVM, for example like JRuby, Scala and Groovy will also run on Google App Engine. And Google App Engine also, it's specifically designed to scale your application massively. So that is where most of the benefits are rendered if you move your existing application on Google App Engine, or you would like to do a fresh development on the App Engine.
That sounds good. So what is in it for the business to actually start looking at Google App Engine and moving there?
Yeah, that's a very nice question. First thing, if you are a CTO or a company head and you have a business driver, for your company, and suddenly you require that you need some kind of infrastructure to get started. That can be a big problem, because there will be hirings, and there will be also you will be upgrading your data center. So if you are using Google App Engine, you won't have to even bother about initial investments. So investments would be nothing in the beginning, and you can then scale up later once your business gets to more users. So that is one thing which is really important. The other thing is innovation. Most of the things start really small, and there might be an idea floating around somewhere in the company and would like to implement that. Then this Google App Engine infrastructure will allow you to begin small and then company. Third thing which comes to my mind is that there will be already existing Java developers in the company, and the amount of knowledge required to work in Google App Engine is not so steep that you will require some Google App Engine experts working to implement the solution. So you can work with existing people in the organization. So that is another benefit which comes to my mind.
What about things like time to market and getting to the market early? Would Google App Engine help in those scenarios?
Yes, definitely, and that is one thing which is very important, because at the moment you have a business idea, if you don't get into it early, then the chances are missed. When you use Google App Engine infrastructure, what happens is that you do not require to worry at all about the application servers you would be requiring, because everything is managed by Google. So you can the time to market is really small. the time to market is only the amount of implementation, and not much is required in terms of infrastructure at all.
Right, and ultimately it also leads to cost savings. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Right. And what is it? What is in for developers to really get onto the Google App Engine platform?
I would say that it's a developer's paradise. I think me as a developer, primarily, the moment I see my application running live on internet across, it gives me immense pleasure. Now think about a business idea which has come recently, and you have to implement it and implement it soon. So what may happen is that my collaboration with the business persons, that can be anybody, that can be functional experts as well, can be brought to fructify in a very small amount of time. The second thing is that it is free for me. I can play around and I need not worry about any infrastructure at all. So I think these are the few things which are very, very important for developers, apart from the fact that the developer community is growing massively, so there are a lot of help available. So I think these three things are in for a developer.
And as you said that the platform right now supports JVM specific languages which can actually kind of run on the JVM. So things like Scala and JRuby, are those some of the things which would be coming there soon?
I think you would see several blogs where you would see that there are implementations on which were implemented using Scala language, or there is a Grail support, and specifically for Scala you have a Left framework which also runs on Google App Engine. So a lot of people are already working on those areas, and they have working applications also.
That sounds great. So what are the services that Google App Engine provides which could be used by the developers and the business community?
So presently there are 8 services which are provided by Google, and they are in terms of APIs, application power interfaces, and Memcache is one of the APIs which allows you to create a in-memory distributed cache to make a performant application on Google App Engine. Then there is a blob store, and this API is being provided because there are certain data which is so large that it cannot be served by a data store. So imagine that you have an image service and you would like to create a thumbnail images out of that, so you can probably use blob store services to implement that kind of functionality in your application. Then there are task queues. This is experimental at the moment. It allows you to run daemon services which is initiated by a web request, but ultimately run independent of it. So whenever there is like system resources available by Google App Engine, then it is executed. Then there is URL fetch, and URL fetch allows you to receive responses using the Google infrastructure, using HTTP and HTTPS requests. So that is really performant. And there are mail APIs which allows you to send mail if you have as system administrators of your application, or from different Google accounts. Then you have image API. So basically you can play with images using an image service. So some amount of things which you can do with images is that you can crop and give an image, resize the image, know what are its properties. Then you can combine different images together into a single image, or you can change the image type from one format to another. So this APIs allow you to play with images. Then there is an XMPP set of APIs. So basically it allows you to receive and send messages to an XMPP compliant message server like Google Talk. And finally you have Google accounts, and this Google accounts allows you to authenticate and authorize users using 3 ways. And 3 ways are like if you have an OpenID, then you can be authenticated using that, or if you have a Google account, or you have account in a Google application domain. So these are a set of APIs you can work if you are running an application Google app.
That sounds good. So if I would say something like a SaaS-based application and all my users, they have Google accounts, then primarily I could use that Google service to validate the users through those Google accounts, and then they can access my application.
Right.
Okay, sounds good. So Meetu, tell me one thing. There is a general feeling about all the companies who want to move to the cloud or who want to kind of leverage the cloud. That what happens if cloud that they are trying to work on, that infrastructure tomorrow becomes unavailable. Say for example, something happens. We already know that Oracle has sued Google over something, but something else happens and Google does not exist anymore. What happens in that case?
I think that's a valid question, but I think after reading the documentation on the Google website, they have a very clear policy that there shouldn't be any kind of vendor lock-in once you develop an application or port a given application on Google App Engine. And there is a facility in Google which is called as Google Uploader, where you can get all the data, existing data from your application to your local file system and then use that if you want to. And they also maintain a website which is called as data liberation website, where all the steps which you need to do in order to move away from Google App Engine is clearly defined. So generally you won't expect a very large infrastructure like Google to go off suddenly, but in any case if it happens, then there are definitely ways by which you can manage it. And I think that Google is really fair and fair in taking these things, like there shouldn't be any kind of vendor lock-in.
Okay. So the site that you mentioned, dataliberation.org, this has got getting away services only for Google App Engine, or then they have it for other services of Google also?
They have for all other services as well.
Okay. Right, Meetu, I think thank you for the great introduction about Google App Engine. I believe that all the viewers are going to be excited about learning more on Google App Engine. So probably in the next series, we would try to concentrate on Google Data Store and take it further. Thank you, Meetu.
Thanks.